Okay, guys, let's roll. Before we start, I want to apologize for the ending of my last video. I meant to finish by saying where locations like the Shankill, Divis Flats, the Falls and the Short Strand would be burnt into my mind forever, with memories that still make my eyes a little damp. Well, we saw what happened. Well, I blew that. Memories came flooding back and I had to end the video a little shorter than planned. Strange, really, because I've always prided myself on keeping control of my emotions. Live and learn. Oh well, before moving on, or should I say sailing on, you need to know what daily life was like aboard a fishery protection vessel back then. By this time, HMS Kedleston was part of the 4th MCM, Mine Countermeasures Squadron. She was a minehunter, not a minesweeper. A sweeper towed for mines. We found ours using sonar, a Diablo device, and a Gemini rubber boat. Once located, we'd send a diver down and blow the mine up. Still countless mines out there, guys, just waiting. And let's have a look at the Kedleston, shall we? On the port side, you see a pennant number, M1153. If ever we were in a port, one of those Scottish ports, or anywhere actually, we would gather together in the local pub and we'd all start drinking and singing. We'd always start off by singing the same silly little song. How would you like to be me on M1153, sitting on a rock with the sunburnt cock and a mermaid on your knee? Well, the locals knew they were in for something then. Of course, as the night wore on, the songs would get more bawdier, like she was dumb and blonde and she lived with her mum on the fringe of Bethnal Green, and she worked all week for a dirty old Greek 'cause her dad was on the dole. Funny how the songs come back after all this time, isn't it? Anyhow, moving on, let's talk about the ship. She's got a turret bridge, as you can see. On the port side, whip aerial, that was my main transmitter. I think it was a 640 or it might have been a 608. Sorry, on the starboard side is the receiver for my B40 receiving station. That's where between the hours of 1/4 and 1/4 I would tune into 500 kilohertz and listen out for distress calls. That law was brought in after the sinking of the Titanic, actually. So all around the world, certainly at that time, radio operators would always stop what they were doing, and between the minutes 15 to 18 past the hour, we would listen out for did it SOS, and we would do the same 1/4 to the hour. But every day, every night, every hour when we were at sea. Later, we'd get VHF equipment, and then we'd have to listen to 2182, which is another distress frequency. And in my wireless office, or they refer to it then as the WT office, wireless telegraphy, I would have 2182 on all the time, listening. And as a result of listening, we did get to salvage a ship. And for my part in it, I received almost a week's pay, which was pretty good. No idea how much the skipper got, but there we go. Sometimes it pays to listen. Better move on. Right. Our own base was HMS Lochinvar. She's just under the Forth Bridges, the rail and road bridge, near South Queensferry. There were a few good pubs there, and we drink with the locals, flirt with a few girls. God bless them. I can picture them now. I hope they had good lives. And we'd play a mean game of dominoes when in port. Other times we'd head into Edinburgh, about an hour's journey away, I think it was, and try to drink our way down one side of Rose Street and then back up the other with a pint in every pub. I never managed it myself. I did try once, sticking to just half pints, and I still couldn't do it. But I did your tales once for Stoker. I think it might have been on the Waspenden, it might have been the Wolverton. He did actually do it, or so the legend goes. Still find it hard to believe, but there you go. Anyhow, back then we weren't in the European Union, spit, and all around the coast of UK were countless fishing ports. Every port seemed to have a fishing fleet in it. To sail into Aberdeen when the fleet was in was something else, guys. I mean, hundreds of fishing vessels, hundreds. It was an amazing sight to see. I'm glad I was around to see it. I don't know what it's like now, but I do know this. The same class of traitorous politicians that sold our fishermen out are trying to sell our farmers out now. So guys, if you can, buy British. Of course, where there's money to be made, there's always someone who wants to take it illegally. And they'll try to steal it. So that was our job, fishery protection. We boarded British vessels to check their nets, often received gifts of all kinds of fish. I actually came to hate fresh salmon, and I've only eaten it once since I left the Navy, and that was in 1976. I can barely look at a fish these days, guys. Fishermen were always giving us fish. I don't know, I can't see how they could give us bacon sandwiches, but there you go. They were fishermen. Anyhow, the thieves, the ones stealing it, the fish from our waters, they were from all over the place. They were the French, the Dutch, the Spanish, even Russians would come over and have a go at our fish. They didn't like fishery protection one little bit. And I think the one thing they dreaded most on seeing was our squadron pennant. You can't see it on that image, I'm sorry. The one thing they really dreaded seeing was our squadron pennant, black and yellow, coming up over the horizon. You can see that pennant on the previous video where there's an image of it. Black and yellow. If they saw that coming up over the horizon, they were worried, rightly so. We'd board them. Sometimes wouldn't be that peacefully. Because sometimes they just didn't want us to go. Funnily enough, after I left, HMS Kedleston had the record for catching the most illegal fishing boats in one day, which was 10. That must have taken some doing. There couldn't have been anybody left on the ship, because we'd always put like sort of a mini prize crew on to make sure they took their vessels into one of our harbours where they'd be properly dragged up before the courts, have their nets confiscated and fines to pay. Anyhow, at that time we weren't carrying weapons, the boarding parties. The skipper would quite often let me go on the boarding parties. I'd carry a stonerphone radio, and by then we'd built up a good working relationship and got a good routine out, so I could be spared to go over. And that was the sort of things we'd experience on Fishery Protection Patrol. In the next video, I'll tell you about the part HMS Kedleston played in a big sci-fi UFO story that is still talked about today. I was there, I was the ship's radio operator. I'll tell you the names of the people who were involved in it. Anyhow, but back then, we were just fishing for poachers, not terrorists. That's to come, that's to come. just hope I can handle my memories better this time. Thanks, guys. You've been listening to Paul Morris on the Voice of the British Resistance. So, guys, see you on the beach. I wish I could say see you in South Queensbury and we'll have a pint like we did in the old days, but no. Okay, bye now.